Hey there, and welcome back to Modded Monster Train. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm having a pretty good one. I had an early morning working on some pretty crazy contract slash proposal stuff for my work, supporting NASA and things like that. Can't go into too much detail, but it's all good. Time for some Monster Train. I have been feeling this all day, quite frankly. So let's just dig in, huh? Just as a quick reminder, if you're tuning in for the first time, the mods that are in use in this particular one, the only thing that really changes the content of the game anyway is the Unofficial Balance Patch, something I maintain. You can always follow the links in the description below in order to, see more about it, learn more about it. It will be linked, so that's cool. I also have some other stuff here. It's some visual things, and then a run editor mod in order to make changes if I wanted to show something off. I probably won't, at least not in this series. So that's pretty much where we're at. Let's see. The last run we had was, as memory serves, a fun little... What was it? Tethys? Yeah, it was Tethys. I did some all-in Frostbite stuff. It was really fun, frankly. It's something that would have never worked in the base game, and the fact that it worked in the mod felt real cool. So that was awesome. Today we are moving on to my personal favorite champion. The mod changes that ranking a little bit, right? I enjoy a lot of other champions in the mod too, but in the base game, Soulguard right now is my favorite champion. So, as usual, we'll just kind of send it on this and see what we get. So let's kick it. Cool. Hope you're all doing well. Ooh, what a good start. All right, so we are Exile Stygian with a default Awoken, which means we have Restores, we have Double Barrel Daedalus, we have Curse, Fell, and we have Chase Seraph. We have Offering Monument, Vine Grasp, and Titan's Tooth as our starter. No modded cards among them, and this start is nuts. I have a really good in-camp plan here. I have the Offering Totem and a discard start with Awoken, which means Stings exist, so this should be real strong. I can be pretty aggro with this, right? Because we have some backline targets for like pings and things, and we also have Titan's Tooth to clear big dudes, so I can be a bit aggro. I am 100% down for Totem Fragment here. That's just awesome. Anything that comes to the top floor pretty much just dies. It's a good build around Relic for the beginning. And we get to talk a little bit about the changes to Cold Channel and Titan Channel in the mod. So, Cold Channel, you'll notice the wording on it says apply Frostbite 1 per shard to the attacking unit. This means no longer does Cold Channel affect the entire floor, which is a nerf, right? Part of the problem with Cold Channel, and frankly one of the reasons why Purify exists on the Divinity in its current form, is that Cold Channel can scale out of control when multiple things are hitting it on the floor, and it affects things exponentially. It's pretty wild. The numbers can get pretty crazy, so that's why things like Purify exist on the Divinity. I'm gradually working that back. I want the status effect builds to be strong on their own without being overwhelming, and then, hopefully I plan to create another mod that'll be separate from this one that I could just turn on and off, and the only thing it'll do is remove Purify from the Divinity. And it will obviously be intended to be used with my mod so that they can be kind of, mix and matched, of course, but that's the idea eventually. This change is pretty substantial, right? So you'd think this is a pretty significant nerf, and you're right. It does mean he gets higher base HP, which is really good, so he's a lot more effective at all areas of the game. He's not so reliant on being given HP and healing, right? There's a lot of starts in the base game where he's so tough that you just can't take him because he would just die, right? So the other thing that's important is because of the way it now affects the attacking unit and not the floor, it's Frostbite 1, 2, and 3. So you don't have that weird, awkward mid-game phase where he doesn't get stronger and just gets a lot of life. He now actually gets stronger throughout the run. So 1, 2, and then 3 Frostbite per shard, which is awesome. That's obviously really good here because of the restores, so I'm leaning pretty heavily towards that. But Titan Channel deserves a mention as well. I actually think Titan Channel in the base game is fantastic. I think it's just such a good path. But One of the things I don't like about Titan Channel from a design perspective is that it doesn't do anything on incant, right? You reach a certain threshold and then there's no payoff, right? You just don't even need to worry about incants anymore. And that feels really bizarre. There's no other incant unit in the game that kind of behaves that way. It doesn't make sense, frankly. So what I've done is I've added a very small health scaling option here. This is useful for splashing with Cold Channel, of course, right? So you get them kind of mixed together and they do really well there. And then additionally, it's good because, you know, it gives you some options for just keep scaling it, right? You want to keep playing spells on its floor. This does scale up 1, 2, 3 throughout the entire level system. And you'll notice its base HP is reduced such that it will always take, what is it, 10 incants to catch up to where it was originally in the base game. So like 45 is where it is in the base game right now, right? But it's 35 here, so you'd need 10 incants to get there. And then after that, it scales harder. And that's because it can scale farther, right? You need to have some kind of a payoff for that. So 5 incants activates in all cases, or it's... Let me try to think about the phrasing here. Right, so the way I should be saying this is in order to reach baseline HP from the base game, you require 5 more incants than what it would take to unphase Soulguard. That maybe doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it too much, but there's a kind of a mathematical algorithm for when this break-even point hits for all of the levels. So here I will be picking Cold Channel. I have a really good start for it. I have Restores. I have great incanting. I have Awoken, which means I can heal it, and I think it's just fine. So we'll do that. I am very strong. I take this Horde 100%, and I will slam Capricious Reflection. Oh, these are so good, because Conscription Notice is also just free here. These are both very good starters. You know, I'm feeling a little, it's the mod. Let's have fun. We'll pick Capricious Reflection. We will pick that and have it. So I'm extremely strong in this. Don't really care about these. I'll get like one upgraded clergy at some point. I'll take the armor emblem. No big deal. I have a lot of good answers for this. Yeah, like right here. So I can give up an incant to guarantee this down here, and I think I should, right? All right, more than anything, I give up the Train Steward. This is pretty straightforward. Maybe I hit them both. I do. Cool. That was a good turn 1. You'd love to see that. I have to play a Train Steward in order to catch this because of attack damage, which is funny. Cool. I should be able to catch some stuff here. I can only play 2 energy worth of things, so frankly this does not matter. Yeah. I'll do this because it comes close to killing it, right? Could maybe catch it with a ping next turn. Yeah, so I can do this, which is really good. Yeah, this is the thing. See, look at it. The way it's applying its Frostbite doesn't inherently just clear the floor here, right? So I need to get... I can't ever get there, huh? It's a shame. I never get there. I always leak this 3 damage, which is unfortunate. I'm just going to plug this down here now instead. Yeah. Armor, unfortunate. I was 1 incant off there. Here it's no problem. I just play this stuff, and he's dead, so I just take the incant. It's fine. This should be free. Yeah, we get there. We get there. I can do this, and then I can just hit some cards, and it's fine. Cool. Every incant has a lot of value here, so you see the numbers still get up to pretty high levels, right? That was 66 Frostbite pretty quickly. Yo, the multi-strike Mollusk Mage. Again, I'm going to read off anything that's modded here. So you can see that Mollusk Mage has phased, which is a good and a bad thing. I talk about this a lot whenever this comes up, but I think I might revert this. Mollusk Mage is a good unit, but the problem is that Mollusk Mage in the base game has a hard time slotting into a floor. So phased makes it so that it can kind of just go wherever, right? It also has some kind of thematic value, right? Because all the little mage, like the little squid friends, they're very squid friend like Soulguard, right? And Soulguard can get phased, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, I don't like it because of the what it does to stat bonuses and like upgrades and things. Because you can't put anything on this that's meaningful, right? It doesn't interact with the floor at all. Like, why does it even have stats? It's kind of just bizarre. And like this multi-strike, if this does nothing. it never attacks because of phased. It's kind of weird. I don't really know how to feel about it. So I've been testing this in this version, and I think I might remove it. We'll see. Holdover Helical Crystallis is pretty fun. You know, as nice as that is, I don't think it's here, right? I don't want to play 2 Ember at that thing every turn. I don't think that's what I want. I actually think it would have been better if it didn't have this holdover, right? Like a -1 or something would make me snap pick it, but it's not the card I want to play every turn. Even with a -2, it's such a low number. It's like, I would want to put +30 in this, and that would be the payout for Totem Fragment. If it were frozen, I might accept it too. This is tough. I don't want to play this at 2 Ember every turn. I'm going to take Energy Siphon. It is modded. It does 1 additional spell weakness and sap 1. It's a little more interesting. It has some more flexibility here. And it's permafrost, so that's fine. I could maybe get it on the right turn. It's good. It's good. Let's see. Sharpen is 1 cost base in the game, so the fact that it has been reduced to 1 cost is really nice. I actually quite like that here. 0 cost Razor Sharp Edge is great. I would pick Glimmer, except that Glimmer is unfortunately 0 cost. It's one of the weird ones that doesn't benefit from this. You want to give it a +1, +30 in holdover or something. But I also have backline automatically with Soul Guards, so it's not a big deal. We're just going to take Razor Sharp. Whatever my backline plan is, or one of my scaling units is going to love a 0 cost incant here that scales attack. And we get to see a lot of cool stuff, actually. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is nuts, right? We have a multi-strike Shattered Shell, a large Siliphyte, and a multi-strike Animus of Speed. So the only modded unit on the base card is Animus of Speed. She has some slightly different stats. They're 20 damage, 9 HP, and she has a strike effect that applies spikes to the floor, which is really fun. And in the essences, the only one that has a mod is Icy Siliphyte. She gains all power. Her Slay effect on the mod in the infusion is all cards gain +2 magic power, which is really fun. I think I'm going to take Animus of Speed here for sure. She's fast, she clocks things before Soul Guard gets hit. The multi-strike is insanely good. Like, Shattered Shell is also great here, by the way. But Soul Guard already kind of addresses backline, frankly. And Animus of Speed, she's good. I think that she's right. With that kind of a roll, I feel pretty comfortable. Like, I don't need to go to this steel shop. I just have a multi-strike already. I'm gonna go to the right, actually. Yeah, I think that's correct. Show me a unit that I want to infuse. Oh. Okay. So they showed me Offering Monument. This is, I think, one of the first rare units we're seeing in the mod, which is exciting. So Offering Monument has been changed quite substantially. I have removed its ability to go fully infinite. And you'll notice it's reusing the shard mechanic that Soul Guard has in the base game. It starts with 5 shard, and when you incant with it, it removes 1 shard and draws 1 card. Neat. The thing is if you have no shard, it can't draw cards. So you can draw 5 cards on first turn when you play it. That's it, and then it does nothing on incant. And then on resolve, it gains 2 shard, which means that every turn it basically gives you 2 draw. The nice thing about balancing it this way is you don't have to have that -5 HP nonsense, right? And it's really, really good. It's also, its infusion is -5 HP and draw +2 per turn, which is just nuts. So that's good. Also, Siren of the Sea got nerfed. It's +2/+1 instead of +2/+2. The quick on this Offering Monument does absolutely nothing for me, but it's funny to look at. I think I'm just going to take Siren for the infusion, though, frankly. The +1 HP into Animus lets me do more Razor Sharps. It's less fun than the Offering Monument, but I think it's correct here. Show me Holdover? Alright, great. Holdover, Razor Sharp Edge on a multi-strike Siren-infused creature is just really freaking good. I'm going to do that infusion right now because we're so strong, and I think this is just correct. Yeah. Cool. Well, we're pretty strong right now. I just take space, dupe this thing, and we go mad with power. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good. It's like a -1 and I'll take a plus 20 and consume actually into foreground power. Because you can do that in the mod, right? It does 1 damage now, which is great. I love being able to plus 20 and consume this thing. Really good. We spend all our money, but we got a huge amount of value out of this, which is just great news. This is the only unit I was scared of, right? I think it's actually a bait to use my Razor Sharp on this combat, right? I want to scale her HP to take hits. We can still take this trial. They could still show me like Shark or, I don't know, something else interesting. I would take another Offering Monument if they showed it to me. Yeah, we'll take the unit trial. It's fine. I have a quick attacker. That does a lot of damage. But yeah, it is incorrect to play this Razor Sharp Edge every turn. I might do it a couple times. He does 11 at this damage threshold. I think it's either 10 or 11, so I need to watch the scaling point. Yeah, interesting. I do want to get to the point where she kills both these units, right? So I think I will play it twice. Right? That's kind of where we're at. I'll play it twice. Okay, we just kind of kick stuff. Play it twice. This is the correct number here. Yeah, sure, whatever. And then we just incant for effect. Frankly, I can just buff the enemy now. That's funny, right? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because it's still an incant card, and I can get away with it. And he does 7, actually, so I should be pretty comfortable here. I don't get this kill. So I'm actually going to play the Titan's Tooth up here. Okay, and I'm actually going to give it this hit, because I want her to not get swept here. Yeah, okay, fine. Not ideal. I'm going to kill one with this, and I'm going to kill the other with this. That being the root split thingy. I think I live here. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, we're fine. So it was like 1 round because we're doing so much damage here. Because of also the Frostbite. So yeah, we were fine. Never really a concern. Jeez. The holdover Ice Tornado. I want to take a spell that capitalizes on my spell weakness, so I think I'll take the Ice Tornado because I can hold it until I need it. That's at least fine. It's never this Crystallis. Again with the holdover Crystallis, huh? Permafrost Offering Monument? Offering Token, rather. That's silly, but I don't need it. I'm going to take the Ice Tornado. I want to have something that capitalizes on it. I will take Channel Song in my common pack. Do I ever do that? No. Wildwood Sap is really good. Frankly, Restoration Detonation with a plus 10 is good. It's a big heal. I'll take a big heal here. Soulguard will get smacked, so I think that's good. Right? Right. I'll take the big heal. I think it's better than Wildwood Sap. I'm not going to rely too heavily on the regen on this run, I don't think. What do they have for me? Awoken Hollow, Thorned Hollow, Guardian of the Unnamed. The only modded unit here is Thorned Hollow, mostly because its infusion gives you the Rejuvenate Gain Spikes 3 effect. Also, its stats are a little bit tweaked. Oh, actually, you know, Awoken Hollow got a little bit of a nerf. It's gain 40 instead of gain 60 on its summon effect. I don't think I need these here. They don't do anything for me in any meaningful way. And I don't need these infusions. I was basically grabbing this trial just in case I saw like a high roll. I'll skip it for 10 gold, it's fine. Alright, dupe, Stygian banner, or Magic Shop, Awoken banner. I don't really need banners for anything. And the dupe on what? Nothing? Offering Monument, I guess? Yeah, truly I go to the right. Yeah. I don't know what they could show me. Again, an Animus of Speed and Awoken Hollow with worse upgrades. We skip. I don't need them. I basically have a good plan right now. Holdover? Man, I'm getting all the good stuff here, huh? Holdover Offering Token is pretty decent. Fine. What upgrades do we have in the temple? A -2. That's a really pretty good, right? This 20 damage Ice Tornado now does like 60 if I hit 1 unit, which with Spell weakness is 180. That's not really strong, but this is a really good candidate for this, because I wouldn't mind holding it over at 1 energy. Huh. Pretty solid. I feel like we're going to have a lot of damage coming in from our Star Floor. This is a really good incant. I'm going to do this. This is a really solid incant to just draw every turn and then hold if I don't want to play it, if something else interesting happens. So I will do that. We are disrespecting the hell out of Daedalus, and it's okay. Okay, indeed. I will hold over Offering Token, frankly. It's just an incant, which is great. And if I'm playing it every turn, I don't mind. Yeah, it's fine. Take a -1. I'll take another +10 into this Restoration Detonation, frankly, right? It's weird, because what's 30 hitting? It's like 150 damage if I full heal him. I think a -1 is frankly better, right? Yeah. Just make it useful. Spend all my money again. That's fine. Copy 5 times? Interesting. Now, it's never this Offering Token, because I haven't seen this event in a while. That's pretty hype. Never Offering Token, right? Because, yeah, it's just not. That doesn't make any sense. A whole hand would be Offering Tokens. It would be bad. This Ice Tornado is pretty decent. It's never Razor Sharp. I have too many holdovers. Wow. Well, one of them's frozen at least, but this Restoration Detonation is fine. Frankly, it's a really good spell to be playing every turn. Or I can just take the dupe into my Animus right now, which is really strong because this doesn't cost me shards. I'm going to do this. This is a really good free 1x dupe. And I don't get the opportunity to do it for a while without giving up, you know, useful stuff. I'm going to do an X1 into Siren of the Sea infused Animus right here. I think this is 100% correct. You know, X5 would have been fun, perhaps, but no. But no. That would be too many units to be drawing, not enough spells to be playing. I don't have space for all that nonsense. Cool. Well, I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot right here. I'm just going to slam this number into Daedalus here. There's no reason to incant that. We'll do an incant up top, though. Now, I can't fit this Siren down right now. I'm just going to slam this dude, right? Interesting. I don't think I need to play this other Siren right now. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about, but I'm going to plug a ton of damage in. Spikes is nice, too, because it means they just kill themselves, right? Which is fun. Cool. The quick means that we clear them out. Even this terrible draw, 2 Train Stewards, 2 Deadweights. Just the fact that I had that holdover 1 cost, what's it called? Ice Tornado saved me a ton there. That's good. I'm glad we got that. It was worth disrespecting, frankly, I think. Okay, I will start using Razor Sharp Edge here. I'm going to hold on Energy Siphon. Weird, right? Actually, I'm going to play Vine Grasp for the incant first. Yeah. And then this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the incant right here. By putting it in the mid on this dude. Yeah, that's perfect. Then it'll be in kill range. Yeah, cool. We'll inevitably take some damage here, but it's actually okay. Wow. It was good. I take way less damage here now. We'll take some incants. It's fine. Kill another one. Which means we take no damage. Interesting. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's not like the way that he works. It doesn't let him... Like, if the front dude hits Soul Guard, we don't get any Frostbite onto Daedalus, so it doesn't really matter. Just destroy the world here. Fine. I missed an incant by doing it that way, but it's fine. We're in a really good shape right now. I'm just playing incants. Feels pretty good. I should destroy here, right? Yeah, we're strong. We are extremely strong. This should do a lot of damage. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Cool. Pretty clean, pretty clean. Now if I take space, I should be able to slot a lot in here. Alright, mod nerfs Ice Empire. 2 cost instead of 1. It's a really strong card. I would pay 2 for it. I have paid 2 for it. Man, Ancient Synergy would have been really good, but they gave it Consume with the Capricious Reflection, so I don't think I'll take it at that. I can't give it 2 -1s. Harness the Titan, however, is really good at 0 cost. Yeah, notice the mod here. All cards gain +5 magic power, so it affects your whole deck, which makes it so much more practical. It means it's hitting my Ice Tornado, which is awesome. Yeah, and this is a 0 cost already. I'll take that. Another multi-strike Animus of speed. That's crazy. We also see multi-strike Cold Kalia and Guard of the Unnamed here. The only change here is I think Cold Kalia has 4 more attack than usual, and her infusion is Slay, apply Frostbite 8 to enemy units. Both of the solo fights have better infusions. I skipped these here though, no problems. And then I take space so I can fit both of my Sirens on one. I keep calling them Sirens because they're incanting, but both of my Animus of speeds on one floor. Yeah. This has immediate value. I just go right because, I don't know, I could see +25s and this feels a lot more comfortable. Yeah, or Incant Armor 2 would be really good, frankly. Yeah, Incant Armor 2 is probably the best. Endless, though. This is interesting, because if it dies, it comes back. I don't think I take that. Now, there is an Endless +25, actually. Let me look at this banner. Shark? No shark. You get a Nameless Siren and a Cold Kalia, which I skip. Fine. I could disrespect the game and look for this relic. I don't really need things. I'm very strong right now, so I can actually front load my shards pretty heavily and just look for good stuff. Draw to 10. Lost Luggage is really good. Mark of a Champion is bad. Yeah. If it was the other one, this would be great. And then Priory's Cloak, whatever. We're going to take Lost Luggage. It's fine. Back to 70 shards on Ring 4. You can see on Cold Channel we get Frostbite 2 here, which is excellent news. I could pivot, get some Titan Channel on HP scaling. You see how they're pretty comparable, actually. The downside being that I can't tank on turn 1 with Titan Channel. I think I'm going to go all the way on Cold Channel, frankly. I think it's better here for what I'm doing. I don't have problems keeping him alive. The reality is I do scale HP slowly here, but I'm going to just get slapped by the Divinity if I don't take double space, right? So I need something that keeps them alive. I really would like... I'm going to re-roll this. Incant Armor 2 is excellent. That is what I was looking for. Cool. So it's like Siren, but inside of an Animus, which is just fine. I could take the +25 into the other. Frankly, I think that's okay, and then I can skip all steel shops for the rest of the run. That's pretty value. I did cheat out a free 15 shards here with the ×1 event, so I'm just being super aggro. I'd be 85 if I did this naturally. I'm just going to take this +25. Let me look ahead, actually. Is there any steel shop I really want? Next ring, it's just going to be this trinket shop, probably, because removals. Like, what Merchant of Magic upgrades do I want? Not a lot, thanks to Capricious Reflection. Yeah, okay. Removal's good. The next one, I could skip the Merchant of Steel and go to the Hellvent, get a Concealed Caverns upgrade. The Hellvent is good as a dupe onto a lot of stuff. Frankly, there's a lot of stuff. I want to density up my healing, so it might be Restoration Detonation, frankly. I think that's actually strong. That's good pickup. I don't have to go to the steel shop. I can. The next steel shop does have a vortex. I might look at that. If there's a chance I go to the Ring 7 steel shop instead of the Caverns and Merchant of Magic, then I think that is worth it to hold off on this upgrade. This is basically the I will never go to a steel shop ever again upgrade. I think I may see one. This is a little too early to make that call, so and frankly, I don't think I need both of them to have it right now. I think I'm okay. They do scale HP, it's fine. Yeah, so like, Pyrolite Master at 70 shards. Terrifying. With haste combat? The first floor is kind of free. I'm getting the multi-strike. I mean, this is good and bad, right? Because Soulguard dies quicker, but is also really good at killing them if they have multi-strike. I'm going to take this, and we're going to be very aggro. Like, this is actually a great turn 1, right? Sadly, I don't get to set up both Sirens on turn 1. That's okay. We just take incants where I can get them. There's value in putting this trains through at mid, right? In case I see Collector. Yeah, okay. I will do 20 into this bottom infused fellow. Yeah, sadly, I discarded the other one. It's fine. Okay, we play the other Siren. Very good. How do I get this kill? This man has a lot of life. Now, I should have maybe put the one with armor in front. I didn't even notice that I had the wrong one. That's a rookie mistake. In which case, I start scaling the back one here. There's actually no way that I... Yeah, sadly, I never get the Collector because of the way this works out. Oh well. Oh well. It was worth a try. Alright, Harness the Titan. Let's do it. Vine Grasp means I clock this dude in the mid, which is just so value. I actually get everything here, right? Yeah, I do. I'm very strong because of that hit. We're scaling at a very good rate. And we're getting spikes too, which is a nice hit. Alright, we've gotten there. I just discard Train Stewards and blast the floor, right? Yep. Pretty straightforward. Ooh, interesting. I'd rather play the Restore than the Vine Grasp. Well, no, it's going to be the Energy Siphonite Ditch here, yeah. I want to Restore first. And pull the damage shield off of this thing and then send the floor. Yeah, cool. It's actually really good that this is haste with Paralyte Master. He's going to scale a little bit less, which is excellent news. Just incant really, right? Yeah, just incant. Really good, frankly. Yeah, we cleanly get there, which is just great news. He gets, what, 1 round in? That's really strong. Yeah, this is looking really good. Concussive Coals is fine, I guess. That's fine. Okay, so with the mod, Drain has targeted discard instead of a random discard, which makes it extremely good. Additionally, the Frenzied Swarm is not changed in the mod, but it's just 0 cost thanks to what we're looking at here with the Capricious Reflection. I think I take Drain here. At worst, I can drain Soulguard, right? Yeah, I can drain Soulguard if there's nothing on the floor, because he's not attacking anyway. And draining on like the Divinity is huge value here. And the targeted discard means I never lose my Ice Tornado, which is just awesome. Just so good. Alright, more mod stuff. Restoring Retreat is 1 cost in the mod, feels good. And Invigorating Solution has a draw 1 component on it. It's really important to me that cards do something when they are drawn and played. So I did that. It replaces itself. It still costs 1, so you're not going to infinite with it unless you have like Remove, Consume, and Value Stone and dupe it. And like you can maybe get there, but it requires some stuff. I'm going to take Invigorating Solution because it's the 0 cost incant that draws me a ton of cards, which is just awesome. And the holdover ensnares a bait. I'm holding over too much stuff right now. Cool. I can go right here. I can't afford anything at the trinket shop, but this cavern and the vortex is more valuable than... Well, you know, I have the money in the middle if they show me a good relic. I'll look. I'll look. Cuddlebeard? Cuddlebeard's really good if I can find 10 gold in the cavern, huh? Remove Train Stewards, nothing fancy. Show me 10 gold? No 10 gold, huh? I'm not taking Penitent Remains. It's it's never bad to take Ember Stasis, frankly, but I don't think I need this on this run, and it slows me down in the short term. I don't need the healing from Cold Shards, or Cold Stones, rather. I'm just gonna skip this, frankly. You know, in my general opinion is that Ember Stasis is never incorrect. You'll always clear them before they cause a problem, and it's just free if you get one of the 2 Spellcaster mini-bosses in the Divinity, because they add Vengeful Shards to your deck that are just free 120 hits, which is great. But 3 Ember really slows me down on my incant turns, right? I do have mostly zeros, I guess, but I wouldn't lose Ice Tornado though, right? Because of the frozen. Not bad. Not bad, but it slows me down right now. And I'm probably weaker right now while my deck is unrefined. Yeah, I'll skip this. I think this is slightly a bait. Sadly, I cannot get Cuddlebeard. It rolled 5 gold too high. Otherwise, I would, frankly, buy it because Cold Channel loves it. There's a tooltip bug with that interaction right now. I'm going to fix that in the next one. It shows Frostbite 4 here. It shouldn't. It's 2 on top of the full math, right? So, anyway, I'm just going to move on. That's totally fine. Not a great floor, but at least we got removal, so I'm cool with it. I need to respect the Elf Boss. At least I'm not at 80, right? I kept Train Stewards in, right? Maybe I can sap it down. Spell Weakness, slam it with Ice Tornado. I can take this trial because the only thing in this combat that's scary is the boss itself, and 15 is not going to change that much. So I think Ice Tornado is going to have to do some work here, which is just fine with me. Cool, you love drawing both of your units on turn 1, save on Ember Drain. This is a perfect example of being able to just drain Soul Guard here, and then targeted discard on Titan's Tooth. Excellent. I can just ping Soul Guard is fine, and then heal him up. Frankly, just keep doing it. I'm cool with that. Big incants, good value. Incant here. I'm gonna slam this Ice Tornado in mid, maybe hit the Collector. Feels good. Incant up top. I'll hold the Energy Siphon here for the moment. It's 1 incant now with the foreground power, or 1 incant later, so no big change. Frankly, there's not much here. No real decision making. Just, is there a single enemy I'm scared of? I actually think I am a little scared of this Clipped Defender here. I'm gonna save the Energy Siphon for now and just hold on to it. It does mean I don't get the incant off of it, but I think I'm fine with that. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna use it on this turn on this big man up top. So while we scale, I'm gonna play this Foregone Power with Consume on middle to help clear that. Play a bunch of incants up top. I do see my Razor Sharp Edge finally, which is just good news. Cool. We do take a hit. What does that do? Oh, it's the spikes on this guy. Yeah, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I need to be thinking about Crystal Cloak. Right now I get 1, 2, 3, 4 with Cold Channel. She has 9. Interesting. I think the armored up Animus in the back does a ton of work here. I think I'm gonna actually drain her. That does reduce the damage by 1 at least when I go up here. Okay. Let's just play out all of our other spells then. Sure. Just slam everything up here is fine. It's actually good if I get the spikes though, right? It is. And I could just keep putting this number into this Ice Tornado into her to make it softer. Yeah, that's correct. Fine. And we just do the sap on her. It helps a little. Helps a little. Take the incants where we can get them. play the Ice Tornado on the boss. Immediate value out of that. What is it? Harness the Titan. Love that. I love that. That's so good. And now I have to be careful about self-pinging with Fine Grasp because it does 13. It's funny. I think we get there. We get there. Cool. All right. No fear, right? Like actually no fear. Just slam this for 4 spell weakness. Jeez, that's strong. That's Totem Fragment and Energy Siphon doing work, huh? Feels good. Feels good. Let's see. Guardian's Amulet, back up to Sap 3. Another drain with 0 cost. I mean, twist my arm. That's really good. Crystalline Seeds does not change, but it does have double stack. Goodness. I'm going to take another drain, frankly. I mean, it's a good answer to the Divinity, right? It lets me do top floor stuff. 0 cost, which is perfect. It does conflict with itself if I draw them both on the same turn, but I think it's okay. That will be the last one I do. Remove, consume, preserved thorns. Bizarre. Worth noting, Wildwood Tome, 2 energy in the mod. It's one we haven't seen on this run. I don't really want to play preserved thorns more than once, right? But the stings are really good incants. I will take this. I need to remove pretty badly here, so I go for the... Well, I don't have removals. I could go to the Matte Steel Shop, I guess. Buy removals. It's not a bad idea. I don't need these Train Stewards. Power up a bit. This dupe is odd. What do I dupe? Honestly, I don't really want to dupe anything here. I've changed my mind. I don't need the healing density. We're not even getting hit. I'm gonna go left. I do see the Steel Shop. Maybe I see a good relic. Sap Tap is fine. Or I could take Tethys Scales for even more spell weakness. But Sap Tap is just draw +1, basically. Yeah, I'll take it. I like drawing cards. They're good. Multi-Strike? Is this wrong? Shuffled around in my chair. Maybe you heard that. I'm thinking about another multi-strike on the Animus. This is tough because it encourages you to put the... It encourages you to put the Razor Sharps in her, but her HP doesn't scale very well. This basically means I really want to take double space and play them all mid. Huh. Right? Play them all mid? That would be the strongest approach. I think that is actually correct. Right, you have a little bit of a tankier one in front. Maybe it kills the... Yeah, maybe it kills the like tanks with spikes. What is Soulguard's max HP on this path? Full channel 390. Yeah, this number going up to 90 is pretty solid. I'm gonna take this multi-strike. It's gonna make me really strong in the short term. I haven't leaked in a while, but this is just so good. I'm gonna take this. It's hard to say no, and then I just take removals now on these Train Stewards. It's fine. Double removal, no big deal. Down to 29. I think Foregone Power, right, is the next card to go. Yeah, I could take another removal here. I don't think that's correct, though. I see... I don't know what I do next floor, but I'm at 70 shards. Another -2. I could make the -2 on this Preserved Thorns. That's kind of non-value, though. A Purge isn't bad. What else do I really want, right? Let's think for a minute. What would I really want? Spell Chain? No. -2 on what? Plus 30 on... Again, what? I'm actually just going to take this Purge -1 here. It's 10 shards now, and I don't really have much I want to get out of shards later, so this is pretty fine. Into Foregone Power. Yeah, okay, sure, why not? It puts me at 80 for Fell, which is no big deal. I just play bottom and kill everything. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't really looked ahead too terribly much on this run, but That's largely because I know there's 2 temples down below, so it's fine. We play bottom floor here. I don't want to think about curses. Oh, I think we chunk through them here. We do. We do. What a good hand. Wow. I can almost play everything. I do take 5 for this, but I really needed to play my Animus, so I don't think that's a problem. Alright, we do that. We do this. Draw. I do have double hits here. Maybe I hit the Ultimate Penance. Or I can hit the... Jeez, that's RNG. Hit the Titan's Tooth. Hit the Penance. Hey, save the 5. I'll take it. We're gonna have a lot of spikes. Which is pretty cool by me. Incant first. Remove foregone power. I want to... So order matters here, right? I want to add the Preserved Thorns, the Stings to my deck before I harness the Titan. Yes. And now I do that, and these Stings now get upgraded. Which is just great news, right? I do the Vine Grasps first. I discard out the Restore. I play Triple Sting, which is excellent. And then I can even play this Ice Tornado, huh? It's interesting because I'd like to clear the Spell Shield off Bell. The Incant is fine too. We'll take some. Yeah, 1 Spell Shield, fine. Fine. Okay, take the Offering Token stuff first. I don't have anything I really want to play, so I'm fine just doing something about this Ultimate Penance. Take Incants while we get them. Again, I forget about the order of these Animus of Speeds. They look the same, and I'm not thinking. It's incorrect to have the multi-strike one in front. I could theoretically reorder this with my Vine Grasps, potentially, but it's not right. Yeah, it's not great. Why did I do that? Oh well. Put that on spell because reasons. Still, I'm just going to take the Ice Tornado, I guess. Sure. Cool. We cleared our spell shield. Great news. Cool. And frankly, I think this kind of scales itself at this point. Just big scale number, lots of spikes. Beam's okay. Interesting how the math works out on this, right? Yeah, we do get to clear there. I'm going to take the Ice Tornado right now. Shame. I'm just going to take Incants where I can get them. Yeah, fine. I did burn the spell weakness on Fell, sadly, but it's okay. I have the energy to play this out, right? I can discard... Restore? Yeah, okay. Play some stuff. Yeah, whatever. Cool. So we've preserved his HP all the way through, which is crazy. I don't know if we get there, frankly. I'm actually a little worried about this. Heard one of these dudes, it's fine. Huh. I could discard this other penance, actually, and get more incants, which I think... Oh, no, I drew a card. Yeah, okay, we'll Ultimate Penance and then roll this, and that's fine. Okay. I think I need to be a little careful here. We get there, right? But just barely? Yeah, we have a little bit of a struggle here, actually. Let's see what we get to if I play out all my cards. Should I maybe draw it first? Minor improvement. Okay, well, we do at least save Soul Guard. So we're doing okay. The spikes has a lot of value. Look, it's 44 spikes. She just beats herself up on that, huh? Yeah. I guess we're really strong. That was even bottom floor setup here, right? I think we're really ahead. I'll take a 0-cost Unleash the Wildwood here. Yeah. Yes, I will. 1-cost Deep Offering is also fine, but I'll take the 0-cost Big Heal because I do expect him to actually get hit in later combats, right? And now the real question. Do I need a second space? Because I think... I think I'd die on the Divinity if I set up top floor, right? Like I could... The 3 is multi-strike, Siren gets 1 shot. Unless I also hit Drain, and it's an uphill battle to incant her out of range. She takes 9 incants a turn to stay alive. I'm not going to be able to pull that off. I would really want... I don't feel like I need Ember. I'll put a -1 into Preserved Thorns, which is my only expensive card. Interesting. Yeah, draw would be really good here. Draw would be really good. I could always set a bottom floor if I draw well enough and I hit like a concussive Coals roll that's pretty good. I think I'm going to take draw here, and there's options. I think we have options. This is... I think 5 draw is never going to be enough for me to win this. Removals are going to be really critical here. This Steel Shop is dead. I'm going to go to the right here and take magic upgrades. I do need those. I get magic upgrades on the last ring though, don't I? I'm going to take removals, right? Yeah, I take removals here actually and just ignore the Steel Shop. Yeah, okay. What do they got? First Health Pack? I don't have any act costs, do I? No. Probably not going to see any. Wing Clippings is actively bad. I mean, it's okay, right? Invigorating Solution's fine. Preserved Thorns is already removed Consume because thanks video game. I could take this. Is that worth more than 25 gold to me though? Seeing another Invigorating Solution? Not really. I'm going to take 25 gold here actually. It's very sad, but it's fine. I will kick a Foregone Power. These restores are acceptable because they benefit from Harness the Titan. So I take another Foregone Power probably. I have a lot of conflicting discard, right? I need 20 shards. Show me another -10 Purge. I can instead get +10 in Piercing, huh? I can put it on Titan's Tooth. I don't think the Spell Chain is ever it. No. No, I don't see what the World Spell Chain needs. I'm going to put this in the Titan's Tooth. This is a really good solution. It's just 25 damage to the backlines. It solves like a wave and can be always discarded with one of my many discards. So yeah, I'm going to do that. That's fine. That gets me to 90. I upgrade to Titan Channel, Cold Channel 3. Yep. There we get that Frostbite 3 now. I don't even care what's in this shop. Yeah, shop is whatever. Vaughn. Are we strong enough to take a Mark of Invasion here? Probably. Almost certainly. Yes. Yes, I am. There's lots of draws to get me through this without taking any damage to fire. And any damage taken by Skullguard is just free. Yeah, honestly, I just play it out. I don't really care. He takes damage here, and it's not ideal, but it's fine. I did at least play them in the right order this time. Brilliant. Go me. Take incants where I can get them. What do I have? Ah, first wave is Blessed. The only upgrade is the Conduit. Wow. That's good. That's great news. Still gonna plug some spell we can send to it, sure. Sure. I think that's fine. I don't think I can catch the Collector, huh? I might be able to if I jank this out a bit. I'm gonna try. Ah, no. No janking it out. I can still get it, kind of, if I give up this Razor Sharp Edge for this turn. I'm gonna try it, huh? I think it's okay. Need to keep incanting, huh? Yeah. I worry a bit about this. I don't know if I have the damage now that I skipped a turn of Razor Sharp. I do. Thanks to Skullguard, yes. Right. Right, yeah, so... excuse me there, I had to sneeze, so I had to mute you. I think we are cruising, though. We just play cards. Play the cards that they show us. I should have harnessed first, but I don't really care that much. We're in a really dominant position here. Yeah, big incant turn, big value. And we're now powered up to the point where I clear out the floor, right? Yeah. Yeah. Can't just play all the cards that they show me, basically, huh? Yep. Yeah, seems good, huh? Seems good. Just play some things. I don't know, maybe there was an order problem in there, but frankly, no biggie. These turns kind of play themselves. We have a really good incant strategy here, so I'm not concerned about anything that we're doing. Not one bit. Hold over that Ice Tornado because it makes sense. Just play out the cards, right? That's a really 48 incants. I don't even have double incants, dude. This is crazy. Now the spikes mean I don't really care about this conduit in the back, huh? Yeah. I could just drain my own Titan's Tooth here, which is fine. Could have done it with the offering token, but that was cuter. I'm gonna play another Preserve Thorn, so I have a big draw turn. Play the cards that matter. Sure. We are out of control strong right here. This is what, 59 by 3. It's like 160 Frostbite a turn. I want to see what I can get up to here. I should end turn, but I'm going to disrespect. And frankly, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. That was a good chunk. Nice. A lot. 69. Nice. A lot of Frostbite in a turn, though. That's really strong. I think we're in a really good position here. Glacial Seal, updated in the mod. 1 cost instead of 2, and it does 2 damage in addition to 2 Frostbite. I don't need it here. Let me just skip all of these. It's fine. Cycle of Life is an uncommon and 2 cost in the mod. I will be taking it here. Spreading Spores, no changes, but it is 1 cost right here, which is excellent. I'm going to take the Cycle of Life. I am taking Cycle of Life, and you can't stop me. I'm going to go to removals. Yes. Yeah. I don't need anything from the Steel Shop, so take money, take removals, seems fine. Worst card is still a foregone power, but I'm going to start removing restores now because they cost 1 energy. Honestly, Stings gain plus 20 magic power is pretty crazy good. I'm going to take a -1 into... hold up, before I do anything, I need to look at this temple. A -2 and a +10 in piercing. -2 into this Preserved Thorns is probably correct, and just go to 105. Yeah. I think that's correct here. Let's see. As memory goes, it's my 2 a.m. memory, see if I'm correct. I believe at 105, the top floor divinity gets +1 damage, and at 110, the mid floor divinity gets +1. So if I'm playing top, then this -2 is absolutely incorrect. If I'm playing mid, which I'm not, then I guess I could with only once of the Animus, then it would be correct. Bottom floor is, of course, fine either way. I have options here. Let's think about this first. I could see something in these shops that change my mind. I'm going to take Cycle of Life to 0 here. It's an exceptional card to just play whenever I see it. 20 and consume into a restore for sure. I just only want to see him once. Winged Indulgence is really good. Means Soul Guard gets hit for less. There's value here. I'm going to take the Sting Relic. That's really strong. I could take a Forgotten Name, but I think re-rolling for the chance of double incants is better. I don't see it. So now I have 335 to just spend how I please. Means I re-roll this. Holdover, huh? Holdover, huh? Another holdover. Holdover drain solves top floor Divinity pretty quickly, huh? Sure does. It sure does. And I'm just gonna do that. And that means I no longer fear. So I take the -2 here. So I'm gonna take the -2 into Preserve Thorns to get me over 100 because it's stronger. I take one removal and do another restore because frankly I don't want them. Good. I'll take a -1 into, I don't know, or a +10. What's better? Probably the -1 into one of the restores I'm not getting rid of, frankly. So it's just free. Sure. And I think we send it on that. 105 over 100 is a good number. Yeah, let's run it. This is chased, so I'm going to lose a lot of my spikes, but they're not a main part of my plan, so it's fine. I don't really care. I'm setting up top floor anyway here. Remember, we're going to do this right. Armor in front of the multi-striker. Yep. And we just incant a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean like actually a lot. And then I guess we just put a bunch of sap on Seraph too. I think we pretty easily get there with that turn 1, huh? Yeah, I think we're pretty out of control strong here, frankly. Interesting, I can't really consume this foregone power, huh? I can just discard it, it's fine. Yeah, interesting. Oh, hold up, I can get it, Yeah, alright, cool. Just incant a million times. We're gonna get there, I think. Lose some spikes, sadly. Let's see. Ah, yes, what a great draw on that Titan's Tooth. You love to see it. Play Invigorating Solution, play Sting. Just slam floor out, I guess. It's pretty crazy, doing 280 into the boss. I think Chased is really easy here. I have no fears. I have Quick on my attackers. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I do have to think about this 4th unit though, huh? I don't do enough damage right now? Interesting. That's interesting, right? That is very interesting. What a good stings. Wow, 30 damage. They're getting a lot of value there. I pick the Titan's Tooth now. We're in a really good position here. Just discard stuff. I would rather play these other 2 cards, huh? Yeah. I guess Restore is technically better, but I don't really care if Soulguard is sapped, really. Harness the Titan, really good here for all these stings I'm playing into. We do clear the floor, basically, which is crazy good. So, yeah. Frankly, we're just in such good shape, I don't really mind wherever we're at. We just clear everything, plug another hit in. This looks good because this one is good, but I worry a lot more about the Divinity, right? Because it's going to be attacking back, which is the big concern. I can start putting sap into our friend Seraph a little bit more aggressively here. Yeah. Yes, that is correct. That's a pretty good hit. I'll take that. Draw is good. Draw is nice. Order matters. Put sap in. Take some hits. Alright, we're in Relentless. I haven't leaked anything. I've done like about 1,000 to him, which is pretty good. I am going to just start slamming some value cards on the bottom floor, because I know I gave up the spell weakness, but it's fine. I would rather stack some sap here, and yeah, keep playing stings, huh? They're really good cards. I don't mind seeing them. Wow, this is pretty darn good. We're definitely incanting a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot. And seeing the plus HP on Soul Guard is really great. Really great, frankly. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I mean, I'm just kind of clicking cards. There's really no rhyme or reason to my selections here other than number good. So I think we cleanly victory this. Yeah, he gets... What? Oh yeah, because of the sap. I was like, in what world is he doing 6 damage? He doesn't even attack. What do you mean? That is tough, friend. That is a tough turn for you, Sarah. 14 sap, huh? Alright, well, Soul Guard didn't do anything on this combat, apparently. Those fellows are hitting for 215 in the back. Pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Once we get to the point where we see that sap on the Divinity, I don't feel bad about top floor. My draw order is going to matter a lot. If I see terrible draw order, I might have to bottom floor it, which is weird. I can sap 1. I was correct, by the way, right? Top floor gets +1 with 105, and I get a -1 with Winged Indulgence, so it's at 9. And then, yeah, you can see mid is at 6/2, so it's 7/2 by default. Yeah, okay, I was right. I can get it to 7 and draw through a chunk of my deck here. I'm going to gamble on the top floor here, I think. I'm going to gamble on the top floor here. I think this is fine. The sap on Energy Siphon matters a fair bit here. I should be careful, huh? Damage shield, huh? I'm gonna Restoration Detonation because it draws. Okay, that's fine. I want to put the Razor Sharp into the back unit, but I need to be careful about getting it killed. So I'm gonna put the first one into the one with armor for now. Yes. We're just gonna consume our other stuff. I'm actually gonna put this consume into the bottom guy with damage shield, because I want to get rid of that damage shield. If we can stabilize these turns, I think we get there. We see a drain, which is just wonderful news. We see both drains. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I can start putting them in the back. Reserve Thorns activated. Cool. Yeah, we're in great shape. I discard the Vine Grasp so I can get double sap out. Yeah, we win now. Okay, cool. So I thinned my deck. I drew enough cards. I feel pretty comfortable about where we're at. I do need to make sure I don't kill myself on spikes. So I'm actually going to put the first Cycle of Life in the back on this Animus. Because I think that's correct. Do this, draw some stuff. It's fine. I think I'm going to send this Ice Tornado and hopefully clear some things out. Yeah, cool. Alright, we're in pretty good shape. I can start scaling them pretty aggressively now. We're almost at the point where we don't take a hit. We don't take a hit, actually, right? We hit pretty well on those damage shields. Cool. Stack sap. I need to be careful about this because there may be floors coming up where I don't hit hard enough. I'm only doing, what, 213 on the back and 122 on the middle. Yeah, and I mean, of course, Soul Guard is fine. He does a lot. He's doing, what is that, just shy of 90, so it's like 80, 78. Yeah, he's doing 78 Frostbite, which is great. I just need to make sure he doesn't get run over, right? That's it. And then there's also the spikes. I think we're fine. We're fine. I'm not worried about this one bit now that I'm thinking about it more. I even have Titan's Tooth, which is, oh boy. Mid-floor is better. Huh. I think I want to send that on mid-floor. Yes. That's correct. It clears out a lot of stuff here and does good work. Cool. Damage shield. Put the spell weakness on the front fellow in case I hit with How much does Sting do, actually? That's quite a bit. We're still going to try. Yeah, it's a good hit. That's a great hit. I Ice Tornadoed and I got that slap on the front. The Stings will offset the Incant Shard Fellow. We just put a lot of sap into the Divinity here. Awesome. Really good. Really good, really good, really good. Okay, cool. Cool. Draw a card first. Great. Harness the Titan. Value. Upgrade. Ice Tornado. Sting a bunch. We can kill one of them with a Restoration Detonation. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I'll kick a Vine Grass to play the Sting. Not much I can do about this. And see, this is one of the mage dudes that I was telling you about, the mini bosses that give you a Vengeful Shard. If I had taken that, this would have been value, but frankly, I think it does not matter at all anymore. So, we are way ahead here. I think we do enough damage to kill this. We do. We do. This was the most important threshold, was doing enough to kill this. He actually takes a swing on Soul Guard, which is a little concerning, potentially. I'm gonna pierce the bottom floor here. I think it's a good choice. Gets rid of the spikes. Loads up with some damage. I feel very comfortable about the turn after that, so... Sting out this stuff. Take the Ice Tornado first in case we roll high. That was good. Just a bunch of cards now. We overflow 260. That's good. That's great news. I think we're really strong right now. We are just very, very strong. There's not much else to say here. I think we stabilized the only difficult turn, which was the first couple. Yeah. Yeah, pretty clean, pretty clean. I'm gonna clear the second boss without an issue. I can just disrespect this pretty hard. They don't even get a swing in, which is just great news. I kick one of these drains so I can get more stings. Yeah, 22 sap is perfectly fine. Drain is a really good solution, and I'm glad I drafted it. Both of the absolvers on the last floor got dazed by concussive pulse, so I can completely ignore them. Well, that's just great news. That's just excellent news, huh? That's just wonderful, huh? That's nice. I could incant this floor up, but I could also just end turn once I get there, huh? I think I will, frankly. Yeah, I think I will just end turn once they come up, because I easily win this without playing any other cards. Yep, we take like 5, right? Some spikes damage. This is super clean, right? The Divinity never swings. We clear this first wave outright with 120, 120. Yeah, it gets the 230, which is great, and then the 190s just hug through these fellows. Yeah, what a great turn, frankly. I don't need to click anything. End it. Cool, that's just excellent. We're really strong on this combat and this run in general. It played out pretty much perfectly. I solved all the problems I had, so that's just excellent news. Really, no complaints there from me. I can't go wrong. I'm glad I got to show you some fun new stuff too. I love the new Animus of Speed. It's really fun. It feels like it enables spike builds that just never existed before. So let's hit up the run summary and get you all through this. Cool. So like I said, I love the new Animus of Speed. You know, Capricious Reflection was truly favored me today. Monster Train decided that I was bound to win, destined to get the multi-strike on that Siren of the Sea, destined to hit a ×5 event, which let me get a free 15 shards out of the Siren and Animus. I keep calling her Siren, it's an Animus Speed. The customized, the modded rather, Cold Channel felt really strong. Anytime things hit was great. I mean, I was pretty dominant this run because, frankly, Stygian Awoken in any combination is nuts. Like, hitting those stings and having so many incants on a single turn is just nutty. even the remove consume on preserved thorns was fine. I mean, it wasn't great, but I ended up playing it a bunch and getting a ton of stings and finding a sting relic, so whatever. The heals were good. Cycle of Life was a good change here. The Ice Tornado really paid out, even though it did only 20, thanks to Harness the Titan. Hooray. Really good change there. Drain being targeted let me be a little more aggressive with how I played it, which was really good. Instead of playing it last, I could play it a little earlier and kind of tweak my turns better. Let me take 2 of them kind of comfortably. What else did I take? So many holdovers. I got the holdover on the Drain, the holdover on the Offering Token. The holdover on Ice Tornado was given to me by the Capricious Reflection, and same for... Oh no, Razor Sharp was also from a shop. 3 holdovers from a shop, huh? That's crazy. That is a crazy amount of holdovers, and that took advantage of every single one, so awesome. Love to see that. Invigorating Solution was good. There's just a lot of good stuff here. This is one of those runs that there was a line to win in the base game, but the way you would approach it is always the same, right? You'd find that, you'd grab that Siren of the Sea early on, you would plug some stuff into it, you would stick it behind Soul Guard, you would heal Soul Guard, and you would get there, you'd win. I mean, and it would have been super strong, right? Because it's Stygian Awoken, you'd have so many incants, Sirens would be self-infused probably, you would just go out of control. It would win very convincingly win the game. But it would be the same run you've played a million times, right? You've played that before. We've all played that before. It's always the same. And there really weren't any other lines here in the base game, right? You're going to look at that and you're going to go, okay, Siren of the Sea. All right, I guess I'm taking it. You're not going to see that Animus of speed in the beginning with multi-strike and go, hey, this is actually good, right? You're going to look at it and be like, it's Animus of speed. It doesn't scale. It doesn't do anything. The spike scaling is actually really valuable. It was really strong before I was doing the drain stuff, right? Before things weren't even hitting me. Like, there was a point in the run where I got out of control and it didn't really matter, but things were hitting me early on, and those spikes were doing value in Relentlesses against Daedalus or something. The difference between those two would have been substantial, frankly. The 15 HP on Soul Guard in Ring 1, or Ring 3 rather, in the base game would have been brutal. I don't think we would have won Relentless on Daedalus with the plan that we took here, right? 15 HP on Soul Guard, dies in 2 hits. I went really aggro on the infusion, right? Take that infusion right away so I could dupe it and got lucky. But like, that would never have panned out. 50 shards into that Daedalus would have just killed me if I had taken this line in the base game. So like, the fact that this was even enabled as a line, really good. It's one of my favorite things about the mod. It makes the game more diverse. I was getting some comments the other day about this, and just the general theme of like, well, why don't you nerf Primordium? Or why don't you address some of these other things? And frankly, I'm trying not to remake the game, right? I want the game to feel the same, but I want more things to feel good in it. And if something already feels good, I could nerf it, but like, I don't know. Umbra is already in such a rough place, at least speaking strictly to Primordium, that it's nice that there's something it can do that feels pretty strong, right? I would rather buff up the rest of the clan and just use Primordium as like the upper limit of what strength something should be. And that's just one example. I really like seeing these new like spikes lines and like some cool infusions that I'm not using before, and like this run would never exist in the base game, and I really love that it exists in the mod. So maybe that was a little rambly at the end there, but I think it's important, right? Kind of like ground us all in why I even care about running this game in the mod, right? It's a lot of fun. It changes it up, it keeps things fresh, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. I don't think I have anything else to comment on in this summary, so as always, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. Give the video a like or a dislike if you feel like it. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And as always, stay tuned to what's next. Take care, folks.